So the founder of OF, a mystery man, has passed away at the age of just 43. People are saying he done the devil's work, but other people fascinated about his story saying he never gave a single public interview. He ran a 46-person company and processed 7.2 billion in revenue last year. You can have complicated feelings about what he built, but the business story is worth knowing. So let's get into his story and we'll talk about how he passed away and everything around it. We'll put forward an informative breakdown about what the company does and its model and then all the controversy that come with it.
Heard of a website called OnlyFans over the last year or so.
Hips tick tock when I dance. On that demon time, she might start her OnlyFans.
OnlyFans is one of the most exciting tech companies in the world. OnlyFans allowed the content creators to set the price and gave them a generous 80% stake for every dollar they made. There's also a generous tipping system as well. OnlyFans just became the single groundswell for a lot of adult performers, a lot of the industry, in the same way that businesses like Zoom became a part of our meeting culture, in the same way as payment businesses like Stripe. OnlyFans just became huge during the pandemic.
There is many companies that mainly profited during the pandemic and jumped up a lot in their users, but there's a darker side to OnlyFans because it preyed on people's loneliness and probably created addictions that they've still got to this day.
OnlyFans has just found a completely new audience of people who are willing to pay money for access to models, adult performers, but also chefs and celebrities. They're keen not to be known as an adult site or a porn site. They don't like those words.
I'm just kidding. That is not the kind of content you're going to see from me.
With these celebrities jumping aboard, there is a genuine move away from adult entertainment towards being a social media site that just allows famous people to monetize on the content they already create, they already give away on Twitter and Instagram. And that's a new market.
All the other sites have already adapted, like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. They offer memberships that you can actually sign up to support creators in a bigger way. These stuff like Patreon. OnlyFans never got this down. It's always remained initially what it was set up for, but this is an easier play to say that they're a media company, not an adult site.
So OnlyFans was founded in 2016 by members of an Essex-based family here in the UK. Tim Stokely is very much the face of OnlyFans. He's the CEO. He is the person who gives statements. He is thoroughly believable as the face behind OnlyFans. Behind the scenes, you've got Guy Stokely. Now, he's a kind of old school City of London, a retired banker. He worked at Barclays in his time. He's the authority figure behind OnlyFans. The majority owner of OnlyFans is Leonid Radvinsky, a 39-year-old Florida-based tech entrepreneur. Radvinsky is actually one of the richest men in porn ever. Neither Larry Flint nor Hugh Hefner were ever Forbes billionaires. We know he was born in Ukraine, he moved to the US, and he studied economics at Northwestern University. Before OnlyFans, Radvinsky was most famous for My Free Cams, a cam service that was live action for adult performers.
The internet had less quality about it many years ago, and anything was to get clicks, and there was a darker side about what this guy that we're speaking about in this video was doing before he got to the likes of OF.
I'm going to give you free access to these porn sites, and so they're not going to get your money, but you'll still get their content. And the fact that you have a majority owner who back in the day, has run, these big amateur porn sites, was once, courting the attention of pedophiles essentially, even though he wasn't giving them content. I think that really has to affect, what happens when they IPO. Still a lot of stuff we don't know about him. He's still a bit of a mysterious figure.
The biggest problem I've always had with OnlyFans is the way they inflate earnings so much to get young girls interested in signing up themselves. The likes of Sophie Ray more recently, and they even had leaderboards where they're talking about making millions of pounds or dollars per month, and that incentivizes young women to think they can make at least an extra couple of thousand every month, and this is a lucrative way to get people in the business by inflating the earnings that they're making.
Has made $82 million in the last year and a half.
I'm just so nervous. I'm paranoid like that because all of this could disappear tomorrow.
Okay, $82 million doesn't disappear tomorrow.
You know how much money she makes an hour? You want to know? $28,472.
This is Sophie Rain, apparently the #1 creator on OF that makes over 100 million per year is what she claims. And she's been called out a bunch of times for lying.
I think it's wrong, and honestly, I think that he's just trying to get attention from it because I am the #1 biggest creator in Florida, at least. And I think that he's just trying to use my name for clout. You know, there's people doing this job because they are out here actually struggling and trying to make a living, because not everyone is making the amount of money that I'm making. I do want girls to be educated, and I want women in Florida to be able to, you know, get regular jobs and everything. But at the end of the day, the system doesn't allow that because every American is struggling.
And we've seen a UK version of this as well, claiming she makes all this money when she's doing the most disgusting things. That is Bonnie. She gets a lot of attention over here, and she was on that platform for a while.
And how much are you making a month now?
I'm hitting the 2 mil mark.
Can I be devil's advocate here? That is a screenshot. Some people are showing me their app.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dashboard.
This is why
I'm just trying to eliminate any bullshit.
Okay, wait, no, this will show.
You get me? And I'm not saying I'm not saying, if you could. It's up to you. You don't have to. You can fuck off.
Look, I sent this. Graham's my accountant.
A few moments later.
I'm still waiting for the dashboard, you know. Do not swerve it, brother. You get me? But I'm a bit confused. I gotta be honest, I'm a bit confused why you can't just pull the app up and say load.
Why can't you?
So I don't know what all this laptop's going on. Hey, Josh. I'm keeping it 100%. If on your phone, can you not just load the app and go boom? I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm Switzerland.
Of course, she's not gonna load the app in front of Shizio because she doesn't make that much money. It's all inflated to make it seem like a great thing to get into, for one, and for two, they can charge more money on their PR because it really seems like they're making tons of money. Up until recently with the UK documentary and how extreme it can be, and the AI concerns around OF, there's always debates around it, whether women should do it, whether they would like their partner doing it. It's been a controversial topic for years.
Is OnlyFans a good way to make a living? I can't sit here and promote women doing OnlyFans. I don't think there's anything actually intrinsically wrong with it. I think it's supply and demand. I think that if you have a product that men want, let them buy it. Everything's digital. Your friends are digital, your business is digital, so you may as well have your girlfriend digital. To sit here and encourage women to do it would be semi-degenerate. I don't think in and of itself it is bad if it's approached purely from a financial perspective. If you're a girl, you have a man, you're in love with that man, you're loyal to that man. There's men who buy pictures of you, who never see you, who don't know your real name, who live far away, and now you and your man get to be financially secure, build a home, have a nice family. I can't say it's a bad thing.
We don't know much about the owner of OnlyFans. Recently passed away. We know that he had a battle with cancer and his illness was kept largely secret from the public. He maintained a very low profile despite his wealth and influence. You go on Google, there's actually one photo of him you can find that he's put up himself. He's rarely even out in public. An OnlyFans spokesperson said, "We're deeply saddened to announce the death. Leo passed away peacefully after a long battle with cancer. His family have requested privacy at this difficult time." One of the things that we know about him is he was Jewish, and Andrew Tate spoke about his donations in a recent interview.
I obviously made it clear that OnlyFans donate millions of dollars a year to AIPAC, which AIPAC, of course, are the Israel lobby, which are heavily involved in American politics. And OnlyFans, who's owned by a Jewish man, donates millions of dollars to this day, but they don't care about that. They care about supposedly something I did 15, 16 years ago for some reason. Anyway, very strange coincidence, all of this. But the Overton window has shifted now, I believe, and I think everybody understands what's going on. And there's been some recent developments also between the relationship of America and Israel in the last 3 to 4 days, which are very interesting. So we're going to have to see how things play out. But I said something earlier about who was behind feminism.
Yeah.
Some interesting reading for this whole conspiracy theory. It's not true. It's not true. It's just a conspiracy.
I'm not going to talk on something I don't know. I'm really going to research that because I'm really curious to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Unless you want to share now, but I could look into it later.
They say he graduated with an economics degree from Northwestern University and most recently lived in Florida, according to his website. Forbes estimated his net worth is around $4.7 billion at the time of his death. Now, there is a mystery as well. We're not sure if it is because his poor health and his cancer was deteriorating, he was getting worse and worse, but he's been taking large amounts of money of dividends over the last couple of years out of the company and getting it into his own personal fortune. This has been documented.
This is a platform that can print cash, but still finds itself fragile in certain areas. And behavior from OnlyFans owner Leonid Ravinsky communicates this pretty clearly, having paid himself dividends of over $700 million in 2024. Now, that's not usually what you do if you think the only risk is a bit of increased competition from other businesses. It's the kind of thing you do if you want to secure the bag, so to speak. But why might they want to do that? Well, beyond enjoying all the things a massive pile of money can bring, The owners may be looking to cash in because the tail risks to the OnlyFans business model are unavoidable. In a nutshell, OnlyFans relies on banks, card networks, and a small set of payment partners that can each decide on a whim whether your category is worth the risk.
Their model of trying to implement celebrities into signing up for their platform to make normal content did not work. Once OnlyFans turned into OF and you had that name attached to it, people were not going to sign up for subscriptions on there. It didn't look good for your brand as a celebrity launching an OF page because everyone thought it was spicy content and not normal. Therefore, they wasn't able to pivot outside of the just adult spicy content.
Let's consider how payments flow through the platform. A fan pays by card, the issuing bank approves, the card network routes it, an acquiring bank accepts it, and settlement lands in accounts that OnlyFans controls. Then the platform pays out creators, which means a high volume of small transactions and a ton of cross-border flows. And that's all while the platform has to deal with fraud, disputes, and other compliance issues so that banking partners don't grow worried. Now, for the adult entertainment industry, this has been an issue for some time. In 2020, Visa and MasterCard stopped processing payments for Pornhub after major scrutiny around illegal content. That's big finance cutting off the business entirely, forcing it to change. It's also worth considering why adult platforms get treated as high risk in the first place. Sure, the bank gets some of the platform's upside, but it also gets a lot of nasty downside risk too. That means elevated fraud and refund disputes, higher chargeback exposure, and, above all else, reputational and regulatory blowback if illegal exploitation slips through.
Picture this, you're in a marriage, someone hacks into your bank account. That is worse than after going through stress, and you see all these OF models on there as well. The disgust is that much more, that complaints are just tenfold. And for the shame of not being shown that you actually sign up to these sites, many people do use fraud or other schemes and methods to get access. The internet is a dark place in 2026, and if you haven't got a NordVPN, I'll leave a link in the comments and the description for you guys to keep you safe on the internet.